What about maintenance? Now we have seen something about the design, but how to operate the compressor. It's very important to underline some topics about maintenance and which are the rules for workplace. First of all, make sure the intervention is carried out in a clean and flammable substance-free environment. So no grease, no hydrocarbon oil, no not approved sealants, film rust present, but also water, splinter from steel part or dirt from workshop can be very dangerous. So personnel working on the machines cannot absolutely touch any single component by bare hands. On the contrary, they'll have to use cotton gloves that will be replaced as soon as get solid or by grease, oil or other flammable substances. Is very, very important. So the operators and the mechanical guys operating the machine, they have specific clothing and personal protection equipment. So helmet, headphones, gloves, the conventional ones, but for example, many customers oblige the use of Nomex coverall, okay? Or in any case, wear anti-static clothing and is required to comply with all safety standards. Of course, do not smoke except in the dedicated area. Be careful to handle components without gloves after cleaning in order not to release oxidation and possible contamination on the components. Of course, the use of the mobile phone is forbidden. So, how we develop the actual configuration of the oxygen machine. At the beginning, this is a two-stage machine. You can see we have a first stage, we have flow refills to reduce the pulsation level, the pulsation vessel, the heat exchanger, first and second stage. But here we don't see, we know that this is an oxygen machine because we don't see the loader system, and we have the flow regulation through the bypass system. And on the road packing, what we have is an oxygen recovery system. So in case of leakages from the road packing group, the leakages, here we have a non-return valve, goes back to the compressor suction. On the road, we change a little bit. We have still, in this case, is a two-stage machine. Another time we have dampers, second stage with two cylinders in parallel. Once more, we don't have unloaders to regulate the flow, and the bypass line. But as you can see, we have a little bit implemented some additional standards. Here we have still the recovery line for the oxygen to the suction with the non-return valve, but on the second stage we have a temperature control on the valve. Okay. How is the compressor now? The standard actually used by Siad Macchine Impianti can be summarized with this slide. We have now the installation of fast response thermocouples on the valve covers to monitor the temperature of the valves and to prevent localized overheating. These instruments allow monitoring constantly the behavior of the cylinder valves, preventing gas overheating. And the scope of this instrument is to shut down the compressor before any fire may occur. The same in the stuffing box. We have a fast response thermocouple, and this instrument will detect immediately the overheating due to the presence of fire inside the distant piece. And of course, the scope of this instrument is to shut down the compressor, limiting the consequence of fire. And once more, we have a positive purging system with the blower using dry air or nitrogen in the distant piece to avoid an increase in the oxygen concentration in the upper chamber of the distant piece. Okay, why? because with this purging system, we keep the oxygen concentration below a threshold value. And of course, in this case, the combustion is not possible, even in case of oil leakage from scrubber rings. So now you can see here the compressor is with the blower. The blower is including a flow switch shutdown in case you don't have the flow of nitrogen on the distant piece. All the lines are checked, and we have the valves, valves monitoring temperature with thermocouples on all the stage. Okay. What about manufacturing? Of course, the staff qualified for construction and assembly is trained to properly handle this specific product and constantly update to maintain the necessary quality level. We have in our workshop, in our company, a specific assembly areas and tools that has been dedicated to oxygen compressor product line. Precise internal specifications have been drawn and are strictly followed to avoid contamination on the parts that will come into contact with the process gas. We have a specific quality control procedure to avoid any problems with oxygen and gas and lubricants contamination. So all potential contaminants have been previously listed and tested to be sure they can be effectively detected by our instrumentation. Okay. Of course, compressors are tested at CDMI facilities with a dry oil-free air circuit dedicated only to oxygen machine. And a dedicated test procedure has been prepared for this activity in a so stringent application. It's very important to underline that construction, cleaning, and assembling in quality methodologies and procedures to grant total elimination of dirt or any contaminants. We have a quality manual and manufacturing process plant, so we have the control of the manufacturing start that start at supply premises. So all our sub-suppliers from the piping, from the coolers or the dampers are checked by our staff, and we are sure that they will follow our standards. And the result of this methodology that we apply with our compressor and specifically for oxygen is 70 years of continuous engineering development and always more robust and safe solution, on-site experience in our own plants and with our service and installation engineers. And the result is that actually we have more than 700 oxygen machines installed worldwide, and 20 years of study and co-engineering and development plans with our key accounts. And all these works took us to some great results as far as reliability and maintainability are concerned. So, with our statistics, we can confirm that the results of our 70 years of work is a reliability of 99.6% and availability of 98.6%. That we think it's a really a great result for a technical company like an engineering company like SIAD Macchine Impianti.